What's up YouTube? Now we got this nice Belgian fuse. It's dated 1916. You can just sort of make out the 16 if you look closely there, and its maker's marked N. Belgian fuses nowadays are pretty rare. There's not many of them about because the Belgian fuses just didn't really make that many of them, because Belgium wasn't such a big country and most of the war it was actually neutral, so they didn't actually have that much artillery. So there's only a few different types of fuses made by the Belgians, as regards to the multiple made by the Germans and the British and the French, of course. This one itself is quite a nice fuse. It's got various markings on most of the rings, and the timer ring is from 2 all the way to 54, and fortunately, because of the way this is made, the timer ring always spins. That's because of the pins inside the stationary ring there, which I will explain shortly. The steel adapter at the bottom, it has actually been cut, but it still screws onto the shell, so it is damaged, but fortunately I've managed to cover it up. I actually welded it up and then ground it down so you couldn't really see the cut, which makes it just a bit nicer to look at. So to get this apart, you'd normally have to drill the pin out, but obviously this one's been good because it's not had to have the pin drilled out and it just came apart. So you're just taking the nose cone off. There's also the maker's mark of an N in the circle just on top of the fuse. You can barely make that out, but it's just there. So unscrewing it, the threads in the bottom of it, they're quite nice threads, overall in average condition. They have a steel washer directly below the nose cone. Fortunately this one's nicely intact. I haven't actually finished polishing this one up, as you can see. It's still just a bit rusty, but some of it's pretty clean, so I'll have to finish that. As I was saying about before, the pins on the stationary ring, they're not actually pins. They're built onto the ring, and they have little inserts inside of the shell, inside of the centre column there. And as you can see, they are built in, just little blocks that stick out. So rather than having pins that you can lose and misplace, it's just simple blocks, and when that's shut down completely, you can still spin the timer ring without this locking it in place like most of the other fuses. And then the timer ring, nice condition, has a step on the bottom of it. This is quite unique. It means that it solely stays in this little track here, so you're not like losing any gunpowder by any chance. Like if I just take this one out, this one has no step, and if it lifted up, you would start losing gunpowder out of the gaps, which is a bit of a design fault. The Belgium seems to have solved this problem. And unscrewing the steel adapter, see the threads are good, and like I said, I haven't finished cleaning this one up. The base plug and insides have been removed. It's not really, I don't really like it when people remove them, but I suppose they just like take them out to make sure that it's completely safe. So if I just put this back together quickly, I also have the shell for this, 75mm Belgium shell. I'll just put that on the right way. It's a quite nice shell. It's pitted, but it's not got massive pitting in it, so it's not too bad, and it hasn't been fired, as the drive band is in pretty good condition. I'll just show you the drive band. It has been repainted and re-stenciled, and the threads on the inside are good enough to screw in the adapters. Hence these threads are really thin and fine, so it's quite difficult to get these threads in preserved condition as this. So if I just move the camera up, you will be able to see me screwing the fuse in with the adapter. Now this is the 75mm shell, as I said, and it's in a nice condition really, and it really does make it when you can actually screw the fuse on. So now I can just like move the shell about and the fuse stays in there nicely. So the threads are good. PDPS 4.15 and then 75B. Not really sure what they mean. The paint's not great on them. I didn't paint them on. And now if I just unscrew the fuse out of the adapter, you will notice that if I just grab this 75mm Turkish fuse out the background and take the adapter off, I am able to screw this fuse into this shell, so I can actually put the Turkish fuse in the shell and screw it in nicely if I wanted to put this one in as well. It also shows how different countries have stolen other countries' ideas, as the Belgium fuse has the same threads on the bottom of it as this German-made Turkish fuse. So that shows that they've clearly been exchanging ideas, or borrowing ideas, shall we say. But either way, they're two nice fuses, and it's a nice shell that it fits on. It's a nice original honest piece, and it's quite a rare fuse as well. And that's pretty much it for this video, so thanks for watching. You can just see that where the gap for the spring would be. We also have the spring.